Hello students, let us begin the second chapter, Nutrition in Animals. You have learned in chapter 1 that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis but animals cannot. In chapter 1, we have already learned that plants can prepare their own food, and what is the name of the process? The process is called photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, plants can prepare their own food but animals cannot. Animals cannot prepare their own food. So what do animals do? Where do animals get their food from? Animals get their food from plants, either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating animals that eat plants. There are some animals which are directly dependent on plants. For example, elephants, grasshoppers, etc. They directly eat plants. Animals which eat other animals include lions, tigers, etc. Even though they are feeding on other animals, those animals are dependent on plants. So all animals are dependent on plants for their food requirement. We have studied this earlier. Some animals eat both plants and animals. Now there are some animals that eat both plants and animals. Examples of these kinds of animals include human beings. Human beings eat both plants and animals. Recall that all organisms including humans require food for growth, repair and functioning of the body. Now we know that food is essential for all living organisms and including human beings. Now what do we require food for? We require food for growth of our body. We require food for repair of parts of our body, and for proper functioning of our body we require food. Animal nutrition includes nutrition requirement, mode of intake of food and its utilization in the body. We all know the meaning of the word nutrition now. Nutrition means the process of obtaining food. So what does animal nutrition include? Animal nutrition include nutrient requirement, which means providing the body with nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, protein, etc. The mode of intake of food, that is, there are different ways in which animals take in food, which we will discuss further, and its utilization in the body, that means the usage of the food in the body. You have studied in class 6 that food consists of many components. Try to recall and list them below. Now in class 6 you have studied components of food. We have also discussed these components of food in chapter 1. They include carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, fats, etc. So these are the components of food. The components of food such as carbohydrates are complex substances. These complex substances cannot be utilized as such, so they are broken down into simpler substances. Now the components of food such as carbohydrates. Carbohydrate is one of the component of a food. We all know that they are complex substances. Now what is the meaning of complex? Complex means having different and connected parts. That is the meaning of the word complex. So here we can see that there is a representation of a complex substance, and here it is having different parts and it is connected. These complex substances, they cannot be utilized directly. Our body cannot use these complex substances directly, so they should be broken into simple substances so that our body can utilize these substances or these components of food. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. So here we have the definition of digestion. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion of food. So what does digestion mean? In simple words, we can say that digestion is the process in which breakdown of food from larger to smaller food particles happen. That is, breakdown of complex substances into simpler substances, that is in the form in which our body can use these components, is called digestion. The next topic we have here is different ways of taking food. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. Bees and hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. Infants of humans and many other animals feed on mother's milk. Snakes like python swallow the animals they prey upon. Some aquatic animals filter tiny food particles floating nearby and feed upon them. Now here we have different mode or ways in which animals take in food. For example, bees and hummingbirds. What do? They suck the nectar. That means they suck the sugary fluid in the flowers of plants, like so. And there are infants of human, that means babies, and of other animals including cows, cats and dogs that feed on their mother's milk. And then there are snakes like python that swallow their prey. Prey means an animal that is killed by another animal for food. Example, rabbit, deer, etc. They are examples of prey. Then some aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means animals that live in water. With animals which live in water are called aquatic animals. Example, sharks, whales, clams, etc. They filter tiny food particles floating nearby and they feed on those floating food particles. Next, we have an activity. What is the type of food and mode of feeding of the following animals? Write down your observations in the given table. You may find the list of modes of feeding given below the table helpful. Here below the table we have some modes of feeding such as scraping, chewing, brewing, capturing and swallowing, sucking, etc. These are the mode of feeding of different animals. Here we have to mention the type of food these animals, that is the kind of food these animals eat and what their mode of feeding is, and write it down in the table. For snail it is leaves and insects and mode of feeding is scraping. And it is given for hummingbirds that hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. So for hummingbird we have kind of food is nectar and mode of feeding is sucking. Similarly, you try to fill this table for other animals. Amazing fact, starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach through its mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. The stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly digested. Here, starfishes, they feed on animals whose body is covered in hard shells, and these hard shells are made of calcium carbonate. It opens the shell of the animal, then the starfish pops out its stomach. That means it extends its stomach out of its mouth and then eats the animal. After that, the stomach goes back into the body of the starfish and then the food is digested slowly. Let us now discuss the next topic, digestion in humans. We take in food through the mouth, digest and utilize it. The unused parts of the food are defecated. The food we eat first enters our mouth and then it gets digested and then the body utilizes it. Now what happens to the unused parts of the food? They are defecated. Defecated means excreted or they are thrown out of the body. That means the unused parts of our food are thrown out of the body. Have you ever wondered what happens to the food inside the body? Let us now find out what happens to the food inside our body. The food passes through a continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. The food we eat enters our mouth and then it passes through a continuous canal, and the canal begins at the buccal cavity. And from the buccal cavity it starts, and where does it ends? It ends at the anus. The canal can be divided into various compartments. Now this canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus, it can be divided into various parts, various compartments. The buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine ending in the rectum and the anus. These are the parts or compartments of the canal, that continuous canal that begins at the buccal cavity and it ends at the anus. Is it not a very long path? Well, it surely is a very long path, right? Now, these parts together form the alimentary canal or digestive tract. These parts which we mentioned over here, the buccal cavity, esophagus, etc. These parts together form the alimentary canal, also known as the digestive tract. The food components gradually get digested as food travels through the various compartments. Now the food, it consists of complex components. So what happens when it enters through these various compartments? It gradually, that means slowly, the food gets digested. Let us find out how. The inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine and the various glands such as salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas secrete digestive juices. The digestive juices convert complex substances of food into simpler ones. The digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Now that we know the food gets digested in the digestive tract, let us find out how exactly this happens. Now it gets digested, that means the food we eat gets digested by the digestive juices. The digestive juices secreted by the inner walls of the stomach, the small intestine, and there are various glands inside our body such as salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas. They secrete these digestive juices. And what does these digestive juices do? The digestive juices convert complex substances. As I told you before, carbohydrates and other components of the food are complex substances. So these digestive juices, they convert these complex substances of food into simpler ones, the ones our body can easily absorb. The food enters our body through the mouth and then it passes through the buccal cavity into the esophagus. In the mouth, the food gets mixed with saliva, the digestive juice secreted by the salivary glands. From the esophagus, it goes into the stomach, where digestive juices secreted by the gallbladder, which is a part of the liver, and digestive juices secreted by the pancreas are mixed with the food in the stomach, and from the stomach it goes into the small intestine, and from the small intestine the food goes into the large intestine, where the food is now converted into waste products. From the large intestine the food goes into the rectum, where the waste products are stored, and then the waste products are excreted through the anus, which is the last part of the digestive tract. This is the entire diagram of the human digestive system. So now the digestive tract and the associated glands. The digestive tract, that is the alimentary canal, and the glands such as salivary glands, liver and pancreas together form the digestive system where our food is digested. We will learn what happens to the food in different parts of the digestive tract in the next class.